Tonight on the Super Important Show, we will scare you, we will surprise you, and we'll tell you about a bug that shoots pee out of its butt catapult. All on this show. But first, before we get into any of that craziness, let me introduce the amazing co-hosts that we have. First, it's Heather Jules Booth. How are you doing, Heather Jules Booth?
Long time no see, Dustin and crowd. How is everyone?
Good. And we have our special guest, one of our favorite guests who we haven't seen in a long time, Audrey Sprouse. How are you doing?
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me again.
We are happy to have you back. For folks, Audrey, for folks who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, what's your story?
Well, I was born in Nashville on a fine, crisp spring morning. And anyways, I do comedy all throughout New York. I do sketch. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I love spooky things. So anytime I can incorporate comedy into spooky, I love to do it, but more in the writing and directing route is kind of where I'm at lately.
Nice.
So yeah, that's
Awesome.
me.
And for folks, we've been off for the last few weeks, but we're back and we're excited, and we have crazy weird things, because especially whenever we're gone for a while, weird shit will happen, because there's 3 weeks worth of weird shit to happen.
Is that ever true?
So, Heather, why don't you kick us off? Why don't you get us into our first story in World You Crazy?
Oh, I would love to. So, I think it was about a month ago, maybe a little bit longer, we talked about some of the craziest rejected license plates in Oregon. Mm-hmm. And we've decided to bring that back, only a place very near and dear to my heart. And right now, I think most everyone here is the top rejected license plates of New York State. I was going to say New York City, but no, It's the entire state in the 2022 calendar year, correct?
Yes, in 2022.
Yes, so this was everything that got rejected last year. Yes, Dustin.
Yeah, I wrote New York City, but you're right, it is New York State. I had a lot going on. So here we go. No,
it's okay. I mean, here's the thing, Dustin. This is what they always say about people who live in New York. We all think that New York City is New York. And we're just like, that's New York. Sure. And it's not, but it's fine. We're all guilty of it.
We're like 80% of it. I mean, there's nobody in other places.
We're the 80%. Yeah. I'm gonna not make my comments.
No, there are. Okay. I don't mean that the people outside of New York City are nobodies. I just mean that there's a lot of open space. You have lawns, so we put people where lawns are. That's all I'm trying to say.
We put people. That sounds like some twisted Twilight Zone sort of. We put people where lawns are.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
It also sounds like a really lousy. What's that? What I want? Low rent commercials that are in the middle of programming in the middle of the night. I can't think of the local programming. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's Dustin's we put people where lawns are.
Do you want
access? That's what I want to say.
You want to get into these, because we got 19 of these freaking things.
Yeah, I'd love to. Let's do it.
Let's get into our first one. Area 69.
Area 69, a fine classic. I like this because this, it's a play off on the alien thing, but it's Area 69.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't argue with this. This is great.
Okay, slut bus.
I love this. So I love this not just because it's slut bus, but the fact that it adds a little European flair, like sloot bus. Or sloot bus. I saw this one written down, and I told Dustin, I was like, please include sloot bus, because that's what it suggests to me. Sloot bus.
Right. See,
I love it. You know what you're getting.
Right. See, I'm going there for the opposite reason. I am saying I'm against this one because everybody knows that a slut bus is required to register with the state and have separate information and post it on the side of the bus. So you're just trying to get by with a cheap license plate, when in reality, you just don't want to do the slut bus paperwork. And I don't appreciate that.
It's just a sloot boost. What do you mean?
That's true.
There's nothing questionable about this.
It's a bunch of Norwegian people
Yeah.
who are
Exactly. Just saluting along.
yeah. DTF tacos.
Oh, God. Okay. I love this one because, so I was telling them right before this that I loved this and thought it was really funny because I thought it just was a very New York thing to love tacos so much that you were like, yeah, DTF tacos. And I was actually talking to people at work today about these. I was giving them a little preview and I read that one and everyone was like, that's so funny. And then they reminded me that taco is also slang for female genitalia. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, they're not actually fucking taco like tacos. It's like tacos.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, I did the same thing you did. I feel like I'm equally as naive.
Because we're all so used to, and I feel like this is not just a New York thing, but we're also used to, we live in an age where tacos are just like, you're just like, yeah, Taco Tuesday, tacos, yeah. And you just don't stop to think about the other meaning.
I thought you were going to say, we live in an age where tacos are fuckable. Like everybody knows.
I mean, we also live in an age where, let's be honest, that is also true. Who's to stop anyone? Yeah.
I do love a taco.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
Did we bring in Joy's comment about who isn't down to fuck taco?
I did. I thought I did.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. I didn't see it, but I wanted to make sure it didn't get lost.
Oh, no. Here we go. Poop coop.
Oh my goodness.
Or poop co-op. It could be either, and I like either.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the second one. I like the second one as an option.
Poop co-op,
yeah.
Co-op.
Yeah.
That it's someone who just hates where they live, or they hate their board. They live in a co-op, and they're like, "This board is the worst."
Yeah.
Poop co-op.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh my God.
poop co-op.
Marcus making a great comment. Most bathrooms are poop co-ops. Yep. That is true.
That's so true.
That's a good point. Yep. Here we go. I love this one.
Oh.
Psy FML.
I mean, go ahead.
This is just like, I get it why they couldn't do this one. I get it. I really do. But there's something so wholesome about just Psy FML. Like, I'd be driving behind this person and I would just smile and be like, I get it. I see you. Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, I think for that. Oh, go ahead, Audrey.
Oh no, I was just gonna say it just reminded me of. Did y'all do the website or ever go on like fml.com? Do you remember when that was a thing?
No.
It was a website called fml.com. I don't know if it's still a thing anymore, but it would just be people's just like, bad day at work kind of thing.
Oh,
anyways,
wow.
And I love FML for that reason.
That's amazing.
I like to think that they didn't give this person the license plate because they're like, it's gonna be okay, dude. It's gonna be okay. You don't need this. Everything's gonna be all right. All right, moving on.
Okay. I love this one.
Just for clarity's sake, that's number one side hoe.
Yep. Oh yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun. Yeah.
So they don't have numerous. They want you to know they don't have numerous side hoes. They have one. Just one side hoe.
Oh, see, that's not how I took it. I took it as this person is aware that they are a side hoe, but they are pointing out that they're the number one side hoe.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's also a good interpretation.
Yeah, I assume this was a brag of being
like I'm the top side hoe.
Yeah, I'm really good at side hoeing.
Mm-hmm. I think we're open to all these interpretations. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like everyone should be number one at something, and if this is what they want to be number one at, then
Joy says she is a number 2 poop co-op.
Okay.
I'm number 3, Joy.
Oh my God.
We want to keep going?
Yeah, let's do it.
I appreciate this.
I appreciate this too. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's obvious that this is just a person who has filled out a lot of tax paperwork in their life. Mm-hmm. And they're just saying, it's the 6th I-9 that they've had to fill out. And they're frustrated, y'all. Mm-hmm. That's all. They're just frustrated.
See,
I like this. I think it's cute. It's a creative way to do this.
I assumed that it was a person who owned a very old calculator, and they had 6 TI-9s.
6 TI-9s.
Yeah.
Yes.
That they're a calculator enthusiast, and they really just wanted to let everybody know.
Yeah, they were. They were just letting everyone know.
Yeah. This
A classic.
Yeah, I appreciate this one because it's a call to action. None of the
Yeah.
other ones are really
It
calls to action in the same kind of
No,
way.
it's true. You read this and you've been challenged, you know? Send nudes.
Yeah, I hope they have a bumper sticker with their number so that you can actually like do it.
If they had been given
That'd
this
be really
plate, I hope that it would be like their email on a bumper sticker.
Yeah.
Or their number or something. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I think that would be a really interesting social experiment if you actually had this license plate and did that. Like, what would you get?
You get some. I mean, you'd get more if it was a Florida license plate, but you'd still get some.
You just get gators.
Naked gators.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love this one.
Yeah, I appreciate this one because this one's mostly for the cops. Because this one says, hey, I know I'm driving fast, but I have a good reason.
But I have a good reason. I'm
Yeah.
running late, y'all.
Yeah.
Running late for anal.
You know, and if you know a person's running late for anal, you're just going to be like, you know, you just go. Like, you do what you
you're
got to do.
All right. Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. No, I do. I love this one. I like that this is very straightforward. It's
Yeah.
letting you know what's up.
Haven't we all been there? Now this guy's going to get a license plate.
I love this one so much because to me, what makes this is the LOL contained in this. So they're like, I got one. They're like, I got one over on you. I got semen on my license plate. LOL. This charmed me. I get it that when you're in the license plate rejecting business, you like have to reject stuff. But to me, I would see this and I would be like, you get a pass. Good job. I just love that they put the LOL in there. It's so charming.
In their defense, I read this like 10 times without knowing what it was. So
really?
you could have,
It
yeah,
took me a second just now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Semen, LOL.
they could have totally gotten away with it.
I think so too. Love this.
Yeah.
Love this. Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. We all love a good salty beach. Who doesn't? Why? I don't know why
funny.
New York. I don't know why New York didn't like this, unless New York feels guilty about its beaches. Maybe.
Maybe they are a salty beach.
What else do we have?
Joy, are you saying salty beach is your favorite?
Nice. Okay.
Nice. I love this. I also feel like this is a very New York thing. Like I don't feel like you're going to hear people outside of New York saying this. Maybe you would. I don't know, but I just love that someone in New York was like, "Yeah, you know who we hate? We hate Putin." Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Am I
Or
wrong? Is that not what this means?
no, that's how I read it. But it also could mean that they don't like the Canadian type of French fries, known as poutine. Yeah, they could also be very anti-poutine. Because how would you know the difference? You wouldn't.
I had this moment where you were like, "or," and I'm like, "Oh my God, was I wrong the whole time?"
No.
No, my brain was just stuck on the C being in the wrong place. That the
It's French. It's French Connection UK. I mean, that's what they're trying to say. You know, they're just like French
Absolutely.
Connection.
This one took me a while. So
I love this one very much. When Dustin and I were going over this list, I specifically asked him to include this one because this is the epitome of New York.
Mhm.
That somebody was like, I'm gonna put this license plate FNYC DOT. For anyone who's not in New York City, DOT stands for Department of Transportation. And you know what? They deserve this. So this
They
license plate is earned. It is very New York to be like, I'm gonna put this on a license plate. And I love it. And we were joking at my office today. Like you could have definitely gotten someone to be like, what? It just means like dot. No, I don't like NYC dots. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't like dots. Yeah. So this one really delighted me. Marcus says it makes sense this person would be a car owner. I agree.
Yeah.
And then you would tell everyone. Yeah. So next up we have Wordle, which I think that you can't have because it's a brand name or like it's a thing.
Yeah. I also appreciate that, like, this person's going to get this. It's like, you know that it's not going to be a thing by the time you get this license plate. Like, this just says, like, I like stuff that used to be cool. And I don't know if Wordle's still cool. I don't know. But I'm going to assume that at this point, it's like, it's not. But,
I mean, it's like over a year old. There's no way it's still cool.
Right.
Yeah.
People have moved on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is great.
I love this because I'm like, I guess you can't use this because it's like a name of an actual thing. But I just thought this was adorable. I'm like, someone just really wanted to celebrate the Snorlax. Why is that a problem?
Yeah, it's like this person was probably just like, but I'm wholesome. All the other ones
I'm
say
wholesome.
semen.
I like Snorlax.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it doesn't have 2 X's, but that's okay.
There's no porn in this.
No, there's none.
Oh,
Fake taxi. Come on.
Yeah.
Another great New York. Like, that's great.
Yeah, they were like,
They're like, it's not fake. I spelled it with a Y. It's New York. It's fine.
there were a lot of variations on this one too. A lot of people tried to get by.
Yeah, a lot of people tried to do this, which is also very funny. Yeah, numerous spellings of that.
Yeah.
Love this. Did you too? Did you?
Right. Again, this could be a musical instrument. This could definitely be a trumpet or something like that. If you're assuming it's farts, that's in your own mind.
Yeah, that's on you.
You made it bad.
That's on you, and you tooted it.
Yeah.
New York's got a lot of orchestras. Left Twix, I will tell you all that I straight up had to say to Dustin, please explain to me why there was also right Twix. And I was like, why are left Twix and right Twix not allowed? Is that a sex thing? And Dustin's like, no, I'm pretty sure that's also considered a brand item. And that's why you can't say it.
Unless it is a sex thing.
Okay.
I mean, maybe it is. Please chat, tell us if right Twixing and left Twixing is like a thing. And we just don't know. But I loved this. I thought this was great.
I mean, Audrey, I feel like you're the dirtiest of us. Like, you must know whether or not this is a thing.
Me? No, yeah. I don't think this is. I thought like left Twix, right Twix, because people, from my understanding, ask like, which one do you eat first? Because Harry Styles.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is going to come back to Harry Styles.
It's always going to come back to Harry Styles.
Come back to Harry Styles. Harry Styles like talked about this. I was like, I bite into both Twix, so the other Twix doesn't feel left out.
He's an animal.
So that's where
he's an animal, Audrey. That's insane to bite into both Twix at the same time. Nobody does that.
He didn't want to choose. I think it's like a choice. Like people are left Twix or right Twix. People.
Marcus is
sexual.
Marcus has put something in the chat. I have no idea if this is true or completely made up, but Urban Dictionary, a type of chocolate not similar at all. The right Twix because it has a better chocolate to wafer ratio and tastes better. That's why the left Twix is sold out. Okay.
Oh.
All right. We're learning things.
Thank you for the research.
Yeah, thank you, Marcus. We appreciate that. Even if it's not real, I'm not sure, but I buy it.
Yeah. Just a simple fuck you.
Yeah. No, you know what? It's just fakui.
Yeah.
Fakui. Yeah. That's all.
It looks like a last name to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think this was very creatively spelled.
I feel like it's culturally insensitive to not allow this license plate to happen. But also it's culturally insensitive to do it. So
yeah, it's both culturally insensitive to allow it and to not allow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we may be at our last one.
Oh my gosh, no, are we?
Yeah, which I always gotta save the blind one for last. Because if you're gonna have a car saying that you're blind as fuck when you're driving your car, I'm on board with that. Give that to that person.
I'm also going to tell you, Dustin, when I was going through these at work, and I was like, and then this one, and my 2 people in the office with me just went, oh, because they thought that one was like kind of borderline, like, you can't say that. And I was like, it's okay. The person who is my co-host is visually impaired.
Yep.
And they're okay with it. So I think it's all right. Also, it's really funny.
Yeah, I'm
It's
giving
like,
I'm giving the thumbs up on it.
Right. I'm like, if you had a car and you had blind AF as your license plate, that's kind of hilarious.
Right.
I'm like, but I also think that's funny.
I also should not have a car. So
Right. It's funny. It's a joke. Anyway, yeah. It was really funny.
so those are our license plates, guys. That's
Good
what we
stuff.
got.
Good stuff. Also, Joy, I think I put it up too soon, but Joy had put up a Smelt It, Dealt It license plate, which I really appreciate. It was SMLTDLTIT.
Nice. Good job.
Yeah, good job, Joy.
I like that.
Yeah.
Are we ready to go on to our next story? Should we hand it over
think
to
so.
Miss Audrey?
I think so.
Audrey, what do we got?
Oh, well, we have quite the tale. I wore my goth look for it.
Oh.
I put dark eyes stuff. Anyways, we are going to go down to Colombia as 28 girls were hospitalized for anxiety after playing a Ouija board. So, according to an outlet somewhere, they reported that these girls were fainting and had anxiety. And so the parents immediately said, it's because of the Ouija board, nothing else. It's the Ouija board. For quick context, I will quickly share this. Ouija boards are a spirit board. It's got the alphabet, the numbers, yes, no, goodbye. It's got a little planchette that apparently moves as the spirits do it. But you always have to say goodbye, because if you don't, bad shit will happen, like maybe anxiety. So basically, there's still no answer to if this is actually what caused it, but all of the parents seem to be rallying behind the fact that all 28 of their girls did a Ouija board and now have severe anxiety, which I'm going to start using in my daily life now.
Yeah, you're just gonna be like, I can't get into work today because Ouija board.
Yeah, I can't. Ouija board.
Exactly.
Ouija board said no.
Yep.
Sorry, can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love Ouija boards. I think they're fun, but I would never do one in my house. But everywhere else, it's funny.
I partially picked this one just because of my remembrance. Were you at the in-trip where the Ouija board thing happened?
No, I didn't get to. No.
It's really good.
I was not part of it. I just I was upstairs hanging out with people, and all of a sudden, 10 people were downstairs doing the Ouija board, and everybody comes up white-faced, they had just literally they had spoken. Heather, you were. It was. Let me. I will tell my part, and then you tell what actually happened. Everybody came up white-faced. They had spoken to some angry ghost or whatever, and Heather comes up, and she's just like, "Man, that was trippy." I'm like, shook. Anyway, I'm gonna have some absinthe now, and I was like, "No, oh, that's the wrong thing. You have chosen the exact wrong thing to do now." And she did it anyway. So I partially picked that.
Yeah.
I partially picked this just so I could tell that story. But anyway, Heather, your side of it is probably more accurate than mine.
Well, I mean, first of all, I love that story, Dustin, and I think it was that was the first time I'd ever gotten to really have absinthe too, because it's not something I'd tried. So I remember I was all like, ooh. But now, to this day, anytime I see someone saying something about absinthe, anytime it comes up, I think of this story and I laugh really
so
hard.
good.
It's ridiculous. Oh my gosh. So we started talking to some spirit. So Matt Schrader was leading it. And we were talking to, in theory, some spirit. I think it was there was a child that had lived in the inn, and they said that there was also potentially the stepfather had killed the child. I'm not positive I'm remembering the details correctly, but it was something like that. And Matt thought that we had made contact with the murderer. And the spirit was saying leave, angry, get out. And then Kevin McNair was starting to fight this ghost. which is honestly, that's the thing that made us the most, like, we all came up and we were like, all right, we gotta go. Because McNair was like, he literally at one point was like, just give me 5 more minutes. I just want to ask a few more questions. And I remember Schrader was like, nope, I think we gotta go. Because it started, like, the board started spelling out, like, it spelled get out. That was when we all left. That was it. It spelled get out, and we were all like, I think we should probably go upstairs. And McNair was like, give me 5 more minutes.
Right, and these are all full-on adults, so you can see where a bunch of high school kids would.
Yeah, I could definitely see if you were a bunch of high school kids and that happened, you would be a little freaked out. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I had a Ouija board. I just said don't have it in your house. And the reason why is we had one in our Astoria apartment and played it.
Mm-hmm.
And all of the clues they were giving us, there was like 8 people in the house, died by gun, like all of these different things. And so we wrote it all down because we were too intoxicated at that point. Because we also did it at 3 a.m., which is like the veil is the thinnest. And turns out the next day we looked at our notes and looked it up, and there was a family, like the dad killed his entire family in our apartment.
Great.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So that was always fun. But it was a very nice house. Nothing happened in that apartment. But yeah, Ouija boards, they're something. When you start fighting them,
yeah,
it's game over.
Yeah, and I also remember that Matt forgot to say goodbye, and he actually went back. I think he went back a couple hours later because he remembered, and he was like, "We have to actually shut this down properly." And he like made us all get back down there, and he was like, "Okay," I forget, but he like said goodnight. And that was the first time I learned that because I didn't know that you had to close out.
Yes, always. Yes, because then it can linger.
Yeah.
If you believe in this, which I might.
This is really make me want to take a Ouija board to my job.
Do it.
I would really be very curious. Yeah.
Cool. Do we want to move on? Is there more to the story we want to cover?
No, I mean, like I said, it doesn't seem like there's a true reason. Like somebody at the hospital was like, they're fed. So I don't know what it is.
They're fed, like the girls are fed, like they weren't hungry.
Yeah,
I like that's the reason that they're like, oh, they're all fainting because they didn't eat.
Literally, they're like, our children have a good nutrition. It was almost like the school board, I think, just trying to defend it, or the parents.
Yeah.
One of the two. And so, like the superintendent in Columbia of that school district was like, we don't know, but don't like make speculations. And it's just the parents like finding out their kids for fucking around with the Ouija board. So I love it.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into our third weird story, which is my story, which is about an insect, which we've covered too, like other weird things. We're going to go to science now, guys. And this is about an insect called the glassed-winged sharpshooter. It is a relative of the cicada. And the thing about this insect is that its diet is it's 95% water. So everything it's eating this like sap that's very not nutritious for it. So it has to eat so much of it so that it is basically going to the bathroom all the time. This bug pees 300% of its body weight every day. By comparison, adults pee 1/40th of their body weight every day. So this animal is peeing all the time, and in doing so, it had to develop a special technique to just get rid of all the pee. Otherwise, it would basically just be constantly sitting in its own pee. So, what it did basically was developed. The reason I stopped on this story is because it said bug developed super propulsion from its butt catapult. And when that combination of words comes together, you stop and you read the article.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's able to shoot out little balls of pee at faster than a sports car can go. It's pushing these little balls of pee at 40 Gs. It is kind of insane, and I think you're going like, okay, that's all well and good. I'd like to see it then, because you can't tell me about a bug's butt catapult and then not show me a bug's butt catapult. So here we go. This is the still of it. You see the little like ball of pee, and it's just like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, just
Whoa.
shooting.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is also a very New York bug, even if it's not actually in New
Yeah.
York. This feels like a very New York bug.
This is basically happening
Just
all the time.
just hear an angry New Yorker going, "Yeah, fuck you,
Yeah.
fuck you,
Um,
yeah,
and then,
fuck you."
Favorite
Yeah.
thing.
to me, part of the beauty of this is similar to the way like cicadas will all come together, like these bugs will all come together and like be in trees. So when it happens, this thing is happening all the time. So there's basically like it's raining under every tree that this bug is in, because they're constantly
God.
shooting high speed.
To make me rethink every time you walk through the world in like, you think it's just like, oh, nice damp rain.
Yeah, it could be just a whole bunch of glasswing. They're called glasswing sharpshooters because of the way that they shoot water out of their butt like that. So
That's wild.
the reason scientists are studying it is because, in actuality, like the reason it's able to do super propulsion, and we're getting all sciencey now. So look at us.
I love it.
The reason it's able to do super propulsion is because the way that it basically they call the thing that shoots the water an anal stylus. In case anyone is wondering,
That's going to be my next
I
New
was
York
wondering.
license plate.
Basically, it uses the tension of the water and pushes it. So that what super propulsion is actually something moving faster than the thing that is pushing it will allow for. So the example that they give is a person who does like the coordinated diving. So like with the diving board, they're jumping faster than they would, and they're jumping faster than the board would go, because they combine the two together and allows for them to like go even higher than either of those things would logically make sense to. So they're hoping that for different robots and different ways of getting rid of water, because it's actually hard to get rid of water most of the time, because once you break the surface tension of the water, it becomes kind of sticky. This doesn't get that stickiness, and they're trying to figure out how do we replicate that. So we may find ourselves in the future with a bunch of robots that have P-butt propulsion catapults that are just shooting water off all the time. So that's why they were exploring it. And as you can see from the graphic, my favorite quote from the entire article was, "I saw this insect peeing and fell in love."
Yeah, is that a scientist said that?
That is a scientist. It is not a pervert who said that. It is a scientist who said that.
Why not both? Let's be real.
No, he could be 100%.
mean-
100%.
It's giving B movie vibes. Have either of you seen the B movie?
No, but I just feel like that sounds right.
Did that happen in the B movie with somebody like peeing with an anal stylus?
No, but like the bee and a human fell in love. Like that was
Okay.
one of the storylines in it, and it just made me think of that. Yeah,
Okay.
they were in love.
That's weirder than I thought that it was going to get.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, it goes downhill from there.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh yeah.
It is almost time for Would You Rather. Does anybody else have anything on the butt catapult?
No, but Joy says don't pigeonhole people, Dustin.
Okay, no, that's true.
So-
You could be a scientist and a pervert. Before we move on to What the Fact, take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us a ton to let people know that you're enjoying the content. Throw a comment in there. Please just do all that stuff, and you can find out about new episodes, and it's wonderful. So it helps us a whole bunch when you do that. And now that brings us to What the Fact. For folks who have not seen this segment before, we will ask a couple of questions that I'm anticipating that folks will not know the answers to. You will try and guess the answers and hopefully be surprised and enjoy the time that we have together. So let's go with our first question. What happened last year that hasn't happened since 1989? And technically, I looked this up, and it's actually 1987. I put in 1989 guessing. So just read 1987. I didn't get a chance to change the graphic. Audrey, I'm going to come to you first. Was it an episode of Sesame Street got censored? Was it people purchased more records than CDs? Or was it a monkey went into outer space? It happened last year. It has not happened since 1987. Which of these things is true?
Sesame Street got censored.
What makes you say that?
Because
You're guessing.
well, like I feel as if Sesame Street nowadays has gotten like, they're leaning a little bit more towards like the liberal side, and that could offend some people. Not to me, but so that's why. Maybe I don't know.
Joy is asking, can it be all three? Technically, it can because of the way the question is phrased.
It could be.
It doesn't say which one of these things. It just says what happened last year that hasn't happened. So it could be all three, if that's the guess you want to make. But Audrey's saying
stay with my answer.
Okay, Heather.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with B.
Okay.
I'm going to go with more records than CDs because I know that records are really on an upswing. They've had a resurgence. CDs have not had a resurgence. I don't know that they ever will. So I think that we sold more records than CDs, and maybe for the first time since 87. Because that puts it at what, like 36 years? Something like that?
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna do math.
I think it's like 36-ish.
Okay.
34, 30, something like that. Anyway.
So we have an A and a B. We got Joy saying A and B also. And we got Topping saying all three. So
right.
Somebody's got to be right by virtue of that. And the actual answer is, Heather, you are correct.
Oh.
It is, in fact, people purchase more records than CDs. The first time since 1987. I'm surprised that anybody's purchasing CDs at this point.
I mean, maybe that's why. All it took was two people buying records, and there you go, surpassed. Yeah. But it does suggest that, within the past couple of years, people are still buying CDs. I guess they are.
Yeah. I mean, there's still like 1 million people who use AOL. So, the world's a crazy place.
It's true.
I feel like CDs will make their comeback because like everything makes a comeback, and these like the Gen Zers will get on the Walkman.
You think so?
I think they're gonna Walkman it up. They're gonna learn like a CD catalog, maybe.
Man, they're gonna want that.
I don't know.
Oh my god! I just want to be there for the first Gen Z, or what's the one under it? Is it a Gen Alpha? I've heard is now.
Oh no!
That's what I've heard is like the new gen. Anyway, any of the younger ones who just discover that feeling of like, this is so cool. I'm gonna put the CD in the CD thing. I don't want to listen to this whole CD. I'm going to take the CD out. I'm going to put a different. I don't want to listen to this one either. I really wish I had all this just in one spot.
Joy pointing out the 8-track never came back. You're right.
8-track never came back.
Pain in the ass.
It's true. It's true. Yeah.
Fair. Fair.
Okay. Question number 2, because we are already pretty over because we did 80,000 license plates. Which one of these following things are aren't technically real things? And Heather, I'm gonna go to you first.
Okay.
Is it coffee beans? Is it the job of Sherpa? Or is it vegetables? Which one of those things is not technically a real thing, even though we all believe that it is? You look upset.
I don't think it's B.
Okay.
I think Sherpa isn't a real thing.
Okay.
I think it's A. Because I think that you have to roast cherries, like coffee cherries, in order to make them into what we call coffee beans. But they're not actually beans. Like, we just call them beans. And I think they're cherries.
Okay.
Like, not cherries, but like, I think that's what they're called. I'm going with A.
Okay. You're going to go with A.
Yes.
Joy's going with A. Topping is going with A as well.
Yes.
Audrey, what are you thinking?
I also think it's A. Because what Heather said, yes, I believe that's exactly it. Like, it's not a literal being. It's just called a being because of the size and stuff.
Okay.
But I do remember learning that at some point.
Okay. Well, I will say you were all right, except it's all of them. None of them are real things.
What?
Yes. The coffee bean is technically a seed. It is not a bean.
Right.
Sherpa is a group of people, not a job. The people are, technically it's kind of like an ethnicity. It's just people say, I hired a Sherpa. What they really mean is that, like, I hired a, whatever. And a botanist don't actually recognize vegetables as a thing. Vegetables are just like a thing that the rest of us call things. But fruits and vegetables are technically, as far as botanists concerned, the exact same thing as as a bunch of other things. So vegetables technically don't exist. So when somebody says, eat your vegetables, I can say, there are no such thing as vegetables, and therefore I am eating them and not eating them at the same time because they don't exist.
Wow, TIL. I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yep. So we have things that we colloquially call vegetables, but technically there is no. Another one that I didn't put in here, but I also found very interesting, but I thought it might take too much time to explain, even though I'm about to explain it anyway, is that panthers don't exist. Panthers are not a species of cat. Panthers are the black version of leopards, pumas, and another cat.
Oh, okay.
So technically a panther is 3 different types of cats, just the black version of them. But if you said, hey, this type of cat is a panther, it's like, technically this type of cat is a puma that happens to be black. And therefore...
it's just fur pattern.
Yeah. And therefore we call it a panther.
Wow.
So, fun, weird stuff that we've learned today.
Wow.
Which brings us to question number 3. I'm just going to start topics. I'm going to start putting all 3 to everything. So you're right and wrong. Comedian Ray Romano has a famous author brother. Because Ray Romano isn't the only famous person in the family. What type of books does he write? Does he write erotic cookbooks? Does he write Jesus mysteries? Or does he write biographies of dogs? In this case, I will tell you only one of these is true. Which one of them is true? What does Ray Romano's brother write? I'm going to go to Heather first because I feel like Audrey's not ready. I feel like Audrey.
No, I'm never ready. This is wild.
I am very torn between B and C, which is hilarious because B, C could also be Jesus mysteries. But
the topping's going with C, so you'll have some support if you go with C.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Are the Jesus mysteries fictional? God, I know that's a loaded question considering religion in general, but are these fun, like, choose your own adventure Jesus stories?
I mean, I've never read them, so I can't say with any accuracy.
I'm gonna go with B. And you know what? I'm gonna call it Jesus fanfic. So I'm gonna go with B.
Okay. Audrey, what are you thinking?
Okay, I'm gonna go with A, but I really want to make a comment on B, which is the fact that, like, what is a Jesus mystery? I want to read one. Like, is he like solving a murder? Like,
this is truly what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it's like Nancy Drew, except it's Jesus.
And he's like,
because honestly, I'd kind of read that. I would actually read that.
You read the Nancy Drew Jesus books?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Secret of the Old Clock, but like Jesus style? Yes, I would read that. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm sticking with erotic cookbooks because the first thing I thought was, what does that mean? Like, is it like food? Is it the picture? What is erotic about the cookbook? And I think that's a very fun genre I've never heard of. Jesus Mysteries is hilarious to me, so I'm going to say A.
You're going to say A. Okay.
Yeah.
We only have C in the chat, so you guys did not go with C. The actual answer is, in fact, Jesus Mysteries.
Oh my God! What are they? What are they?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the investigation of the homicide of Jesus Christ is one of the books that he wrote. Because he was a former cop, so he decided to tell stories in the form of Jesus. So in this case, I don't think that Jesus is the detective.
Jesus is not solving. Yeah. Wait, so like, but okay.
Oh,
God, I guess I just have to look this up after. But like, the investigation of the homicide. Is he writing about old-timey BC people who are like, hey, where were you yesterday? Well, I don't know. I was out at the sand dune. Okay, well, did you see anything? People? I don't know. A guy with a guy, mate. Like, what?
I assume, like I said, I have not read the investigations of the homicide of Jesus Christ.
I gotta look this up now.
There's a song. I don't know if either of you, was forced to grow up Catholic, and so there's a song at Easter time, and it's like, "Were you there when they crucified my Lord?" And it just makes me think
that's it.
Someone, were you there when they crucified him? It's just so weird. I'm looking up on Libby.
Please do. I'm dying to know. Also, I hope Marcus does a review of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Also, Audrey, I am confident there are erotic cookbooks. So you should, when we get done, take a moment to head over to Amazon, and I have confidence that you will find erotic cookbooks if that is what you're into. But you don't know if you're into it until you've done it, I guess.
I don't know.
So.
Nope.
All right. That brings us to Would You Rather? Because that's all what the facts we have for today. Hopefully you learned a lot. I think.
Definitely.
It's a weird ass collection of what the facts.
Good facts though.
Thank you.
Yeah, I liked those facts.
Yeah, these were good, Dustin.
Thank you. I was excited about this one today.
Yeah. Even though you threw us all off by having one where I was confident that the answer was right, but you didn't. It was all three.
Yeah.
I never get them right. I felt like that was my break. I was like, yes.
You were like, it's definitely coffee. Right.
I got this one.
But you were right. You were partially right. It was just happened to be
right.
Yeah.
Can't wait till there's another coffee con. Anyway.
All right. Let's get into our Would You Rather, since we are probably pretty far over.
Right. Yeah. So here we go, everyone. Would you rather? I've got two ends of the spectrum for you. Audrey, I'm going to come to you first. Would you rather be able to turn into a small bird on command? I assume that's your command.
Yes.
Or would you rather just get $2,000 a week? What would you rather, Audrey?
I like the idea of turning into a bird. It sounds fun. Like if you want to go flying or something. But I like money, so I'm going to go with $2,000 a week.
You don't want to fly?
Well, if I get $2,000 a week, I can save that money and get a jetpack so I can fly.
Okay.
No, I do want to be a bird, but I'm going to go with 2,000.
Okay.
Yeah. Dustin, what say you? Which I feel like I know what your answer is.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I want to be a bird. Like, I feel like
oh my
I kind of want to be a bird. You're soaring through the air. Like, money's awesome, and don't get me wrong. Like, I would love money, but like, also like, bird. Like, because you never have to pay plane tickets because you could just bird it. You could
you still got to pay everything else.
True, but you could constantly be going on like weird adventures, and you could live in a cheaper place and then just like bird fly to work.
Joy bringing up the good. Joy's right. Joy says if you're a bird in New York City, you fear getting smushed or hit by a car.
Right, but that's
true.
But that's because birds have bird brains. You'd have
Joy
your
would take
brain.
the money.
You'd have your brain, and you would avoid cars. Yeah.
Okay.
It's magic. You're turning into a bird by magic, So you get to stay just as smart as you were
What
when
if
you
a
weren't
plane
a bird.
hits you? You're flying around, a plane hits you.
Right.
I
You're
can't-
like, I'm really smart, and then plane.
I can't fly at 10,000 feet. I'll fly at like a more reasonable.
It's magic. Who says you can't?
You could, but I won't because I'm smart enough not to get eaten by a plane. Like I would fly like, if you fly at like 5,000 feet, you're pretty much golden. There's nothing at 5,000 feet. So you just kind of stick to that.
That's fair.
So I'm going to go with bird. What about you, Heather? I'm assuming you're going to go for the money because you don't believe in flight.
Of course. I think flying is cool, but you know what? I go for a cool flight. Great. Yeah. Oh, guess what? I still have responsibilities. Guess what? I still have to do? Pay bills, pay things. So of course I'm going to go with $2,000 a week. $2,000 a week would go back into the whole idea of a universal basic income, which could allow you to pursue things you really want to do with your life. Maybe you want to be a pilot, but you can't afford to be a pilot. $2,000 a week allows you to take time to maybe train to be a pilot. Sorry, universe.
I'm just
right
saying,
now, we are in a world where money makes things easier, so I will absolutely pick $2,000 a week.
right, but money can't buy happiness, and being a bird can. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that's true because a lot of things that could make me happier could be purchased.
I
think that is capitalism trying to keep you down. That's a hot take.
I have never seen a sad bird. That's all I'm saying. Birds are always happy.
I have seen sad birds.
Well, I feel bad for you because I don't know
I
what
have
you're
seen
doing.
sad birds. I'm finding them on the street. I've seen them. I took one to a bird hospital. It was very sad.
Right, but that's because it got injured. I'm saying a non-injured bird is always happy. They're singing. When you wake up in the morning, they are singing. Who's singing in the morning except for happy people?
Joy,
on that
cut to
note-
Dustin getting eaten by an eagle.
You're my wife. You should be supporting me.
Oh my
Why
God,
are you supporting
Joy is
me?
single-handedly, Joy is leading the chat, turning on you. Joy says, have you ever seen a happy New York City pigeon? I will say, Joy, I believe there are happy pigeons that land outside our window and taunt our cats. So I have seen a couple that are delighted.
Also, I'm not going to be a pigeon. I'm going to be like a dove or some shit. So,
What
like,
if you can't choose?
doves are-
What if you can't choose? What if it's like you become a bird on command, but the bird is random?
What if you're a duck?
Well, that change. I don't know. Let's move on. I don't want to be
like,
called.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, we're done now.
You're an ostrich.
Gosh.
Now we're going to Audrey. Audrey, what's your question?
All right. So, would you rather have a permanent, unrecoverable black eye? Uncoverable. Yeah, recover. Okay. Yeah. Or an unfixable missing front tooth. So, black eye that you doesn't recover, or missing front tooth. Heather.
Okay.
Heather was the first I saw.
I think I think I'm going to go with black eye because I feel like black eye, there are certain judgments that get made about people when they have a black eye, but I've also seen people with like genetic dark circles that could almost look like a black eye, or you had face surgery and you like, I feel like having a black eye, there are certain judgments that get made, but they're less than the judgments that get made when you don't have good teeth. I have never not seen people be judged very cruelly for having bad teeth, which is terrible because we don't offer good dental care to our humans. I've never seen somebody have a black eye and someone been like, oh, yeah, gross. I'm not, I've literally seen people be passed over for jobs because they had shitty teeth. And I'm saying that those people who did that were terrible people, but I have absolutely heard and seen really shitty judgment on people for having bad teeth. Therefore, knowing having a missing front tooth, I know people would be judging the hell out of that and being like, yeah, well, maybe I'd give her this job, but she's missing a front tooth. I mean, come on. Or like, yeah, she seems like she'd be a nice person, but she's missing a front tooth. Like, I just think there's so many more things, I hate to say, but like doors that could close than having a black eye. And I don't love having a black eye because I feel like people then they're like, I don't know, what do you think's happening or something? But yeah. I'm going with the black eye. Interestingly, Joy says black eye because it's badass. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Could perpetually look like you're kind of in a fight. Don't mess with you. Yep. Yeah. Topping is also going for black eye. Yeah. I'm going to stick with that.
That's fair. Dustin, what about you?
So I went so much darker than Heather did. So I apologize for the darkness of it. I'm going to go with black eye because I'm a dude. And as a dude, I feel like it would be more badass to have the black eye because I could always be like, oh, I was in a fight or whatever. But I feel like if either of you go with black eye, then you're basically setting your significant other up for being judged all the time. Because there's no way that, like you were saying, there's no way you could go to work with a black eye and not have
there's
everybody.
A stereotype that everyone's gonna
Right. They're not gonna assume you got into a bar fight. They're gonna assume something happened at home. So Chris could never come to a Christmas party again. Not that I think he's dying to come to your office Christmas parties, but I don't know. I don't know your office Christmas parties, but
I know.
But so I think that like for a dude, it's easy because you could just say black eye and people will assume that like you fought a bunch of gang members. I think if I was female, I'd probably go with the tooth thing because I wouldn't want to like basically put my significant other, in a weird position like all the time. Mm-hmm. So that's where I would go with, which I guess is the same answer as yours, but for weirder other reasons. How about you, Audrey?
Though you bring up a really good point with that, I do think I would still go with a black eye, and I would do it for, I mean, it really also depends, like, what is the black eye? Like, are we talking like a full-blown swollen eye, or are we talking just like,
well,
what level of black
eye? For the purposes, let's just say it's cosmetic. So, like, you don't lose vision.
Oh, okay.
But,
I think, like, there's a lot of, like, eyeshadow looks, not covering that up, but, like, that you can do with it. I'd still go with it, and if I were to be questioned, I would just be like, want to see? And then like do this stance, see what happens. Hopefully they run away. Yeah. Or I just say Botox.
You could. That's true.
Could do that. But yeah, I'd still go with black eye just because, I feel like teeth are definitely the first, like it's one of the first things I see. And I know like my security wise, I'd be way more self-conscious without a tooth.
Because the other thing that I'll add is like, Dustin, we're all talking here as people who know each other's lives, but not everybody that you meet is going to know like, oh, this is Heather. She has a significant other. This is Audrey. She has a significant other. So it's not like someone's immediately going to look at you and, in my opinion, and be like, well, that's Heather. She gets socked by her man, Because it's 1920. Yeah.
But they are gonna think Heather in her fancy dresses is definitely going to beggar bars and starting some shit.
I mean, especially in my fancy dresses, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Absolutely.
I would like to see that happen.
Me too.
Yes.
Yeah. Not where you get a black eye, but I would still like to see it happen.
No, but yeah.
Which brings us to our third question.
This question sucks.
Right. And we all agreed that this one is hard and weird. So would you rather, right? Would you rather on a daily basis have your best friend in the whole world change your diaper, or would you rather change the diaper of your best friend? And keeping in mind that when we say best friend here, it can't be your significant other. Because everybody's like, oh, but my husband is my best friend, or my boyfriend is my best friend. For this,
It has to be like a non-romantic friend.
right. It just has to be like, like your pal. So, Heather, I'm going to go to you first again because Audrey seems shaken. So.
I mean, I'm shaken by this too. I have a question.
Go ahead.
If you do not Joy, thumbs down.
Yeah.
If you pick the one where you're changing the other person's diaper, do you have to also, are you both people wearing diapers?
No.
Or if you, no,
you're only wearing a diaper if you are required to by the question. So it's not a thing that both of you are doing.
So then I'm going to go with, I will change the friend's diaper, because as much as I would not want to do that, I also don't want to wear a diaper and would not enjoy that. So I would rather just put up with changing my friend. I'm not going to equate it to cleaning a cat's box because I know it's not the same thing, but I do handle piss and poop. So like, I feel like I could get through it.
Okay.
It's not going to be fun. I'm not going to enjoy it, but I would pick that.
Okay. I feel like it's a whole different category of pee and poop, but by all means.
Oh, it is. Oh, I acknowledge that it is. I know. Yeah. No, I know. But yeah, I would. Yeah, I'm going with that.
Okay. Audrey?
I'm conflicted because I have a terrible gag reflex, and I feel as if changing a friend's diaper, like the friend, it's just like, oh God, all of my friends, oh gosh, I wouldn't want to change it. I would just get sick. But then also, I have very sensitive skin, and I know I would chafe with a like diaper and have a rash because I had them as a kid, the baby.
Right, but your friend would put in moisturizer. Your friend would rub in moisturizer after everything is happening.
Yeah, that feels worse, Dustin.
No,
that feels worse.
We're violating.
Yeah,
they're taking care of you.
Oh my!
No, I think we're all hoping that this is like this is a compassionate wipe. A compassionate change, a cleanup, a wipe.
Right.
I don't want to get moisturized too, and like, yeah.
We have.
I don't need a spa day.
Cleaning.
What's that?
I can't just like. We have to clean too. We can't just be like, "Here's your diaper."
I assume.
I took it the whole thing.
I took it like it's your friend, but now you're treating them like it's your friend, but they're basically a baby, so you're like changing and cleaning them.
Right.
Audrey's Audrey's face.
Oh no. Okay, I'm gonna go with they have to change my diaper because I can moisturize. Like I know what's gonna work for my body. No, because I'll make myself sick if it's mine too. Okay, no, I'm changing it. I'm gonna do friend's diaper. Because my gag reflex, it won't longer be like a thing, right? If I'm doing it every day.
Right, you get used to it. It'd become like a thing that you do.
And then I don't have a chafed butt, and that would suck. So, yeah, no, I'll feed my friends.
Okay. I thoroughly enjoy watching Audrey squirm with this one. I don't know why, but just watching a whole world of things going through her brain.
There is a lot happening.
This question's a journey.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's one of those where you think you know the answer, and then you change, and then you go back, and you go back, and you go back. Like, I know I've gone back and forth like 3 or 4 times.
What is your choice?
Heather, you made the most compelling argument, which convinced me to go with change a friend's diaper because I wouldn't want to have to walk around wearing the diaper. Like I feel like having the diaper thing, and I have so much guilt all the time about all of my friends where like I don't ever want to inconvenience anybody. You know, like I, as a visually impaired person, I apologize to chairs that I bang into all the time, like to inanimate objects. So I couldn't even imagine the guilt that I would be associated with, like, hey, I pooped. So I do think that I could probably find a way to like disassociate myself with it and just know that like I could live a normal life except for having to do this one thing every day.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with change a friend's diaper. So it seems like we're all going with change a friend's diaper.
Topping in the chat just said that too.
Yeah. So gross. But now we have answers.
Yeah, not fun, but you know.
Yeah, that's how you want to end a show though, with a very upsetting, with a very upsetting question like that. Because that does bring us to the end of our show.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been an emotional journey the whole way through. Audrey, where can people find out more about what you got going on?
You can follow me on Instagram. That's my full name. You just type that in and you'll see me and follow me there because I post whenever I do shows and stuff. So, yes.
Awesome.
That's where you can find me.
Heather, how about you?
I am. So coming up this Saturday, we're going to have Shot for Shot Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, right.
Audrey, I believe you're in that as well.
I am.
Yeah, it's going to be 7 p.m. at the Tank. I am playing Mrs. Potts, so get ready for me to be Mrs. Potts, a teapot and a human and a songstress. And you can always follow my musical improv group, Red Shirts, at Red Shirts Musical Improv. We are gearing up. It's still a ways away, but in May, we're going to be going to a Long Island Trek Con where we'll be performing. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I keep forgetting, Dustin, what part of Long Island it's on. It might be Hop Hog. It's out in the middle there somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, let me know. And I will probably vaguely know where you're talking about.
Yeah, right? Anyway. Yeah. But anyway, follow Red Shirts Musical Improv. We're going to try to do shows before then. So, yeah. But come to the Tank. Come see Shot for Shot. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
Cool. And for me, you can always follow me at ddato.com. And you can follow the show as Super Important Stuff on Instagram as well. And if you want to see me doing a show, I have a couple of big ones coming up. This Thursday, I'm going to be at O'Kaley here in Washington Heights, one of the first shows that I can actually walk to from my apartment. Is Thursday. Yeah, I'm very excited about being able to walk to and from a show this Thursday at 8:30. And SoloCom is coming up, and I'm doing a show in SoloCom, which is a show called A Too Safe Life. It's at the Pit on March 25th, starting at 10 o'clock. It's a little late, but it's worth it. I'm sharing the slot with a few wonderful people, one of which is Michelle Drozdick, who's doing a sequel kind of to one of her previous shows. So you'll definitely want to check that out. So please, tickets are still available. Come to one of those things. And that about does it for us for this week. So, Audrey, thank you again so much for joining us. You were an amazing guest as always, and we will be back in probably a week. But we'll let you know. There may be a little bit of a hiccup there, but we will be back pretty soon. And have a wonderful night.